Hello learners. In this lecture, we will be talking about main concepts of environmental accounting. This whole concept we will understand by way of this diagram again, wherein if you see this larger ellipse, this represents environment because economy operates within environment. So within this environment, we have a smaller circle which represents economy. Environment provides natural resources to the economy. Economy consists of industries, it consists of households, it consists of government. These industries or these three sectors come together and produce goods and services and also consume these goods and services. But how are they doing it? They are not doing it in isolation. They are doing it within the larger environmental system by taking these natural resources, and of course man-made resources are there. So both man-made and natural resources are producing these products, goods and services. So one way is the economy is taking these goods and services, these are natural inputs from the environment. After production, after consumption, residues are again thrown out in the environment by the economy. So the whole concept of environment economic accounting is talking about this symbiotic relationship or this relationship which the economy has with the environment. So environmental accounting, we say, is basically the expansion of national accounting. So this again, big figure which I've taken from UNECE and FAO explain the whole aspect. Now let us go to what is called as system of environmental economic accounting. What we were referring to in the conventional system was system of national accounting. Because we are talking about the inclusion of environment in the economic accounting, there the United Nations Statistics Division in 1993 elaborated this system, which is of integrated environmental and economic accounting, which in short is called as SEEA. When did it do? It was in the Handbook of National Accounting, because it was realized that the time has come that we need to take into account the environment statistics into economic accounting. So it is basically, as I've earlier said, is a satellite system of UN system of national accounting. That is, whatever is happening, whatever conventions are given in this system of national accounts, this particular SEA is using those conventions only so that they are internationally comparable across the globe. So what does it describe? It describes the interaction between the economy and environment along with changes in the stock of environmental assets. So whenever we define SEA, we say it is basically a satellite system for UN system of national accounts, which explains the interaction between the economy and the environment. That is, not only flow, but it also explains what has happened to the stock of environmental assets when this economic activity took place in that given period of time. So SEA is basically an accounting framework, and it uses the structure and classification which is consistent with the system of national accounts. Therefore, it is called as a satellite system or satellite account of SNA. What does it do? It basically helps in the development of indicators and analysis on the economy-environment nexus. Also very important, learners, is that when we initially explained, when we started environmental economics, we had said it is a multidisciplinary subject. So SEA also is a blend of various disciplines like economics, statistics, energy, hydrology, forestry, environmental sciences, etc. Now, as we have just said, that SEA has an integrated approach. We have seen earlier in the previous a few minutes back, that how economic indicators and environmental indicators were being gathered separately by separate agencies without any interaction with each other. But SEA follows a very integrated approach. Now, if we see here in this diagram, what we see here is that maybe there is a data A which is being gathered by agency A, data B which is being gathered by agency B, and data C which is being gathered by agency C. So these data are converted into respective information and respective policies. So what happened was that initially A was operating separately and B was operating separately and C was operating separately. But when we talk about SEA, it is an integrated approach where all these data related to economy, environment and social, all three basic data are combined. So if data A represents economy data, data B represents environment data, and data C represents social data, all these data are combined together. They are then put into accounts. If it is only economic data, we'll put it in SNA. If it is both economic and environment, we put it in SEA, and then indicators are designed. So this is an integrated statistics because it is about understanding institutional arrangements. It also integrates statistical production processes and services, and it ensures consistency between basic data, accounts, and indicators. And of course, it links policy needs and statistics. Just small example to explain you silo approach and integrated approach. If I showed you this diagram, so probably if you see, this is one information we have, this is another information, this is another information. So all these, this is probably one bunch of information, this is another bunch of information. So probably everybody is working separately without interaction with each other. So economic data or economists are working in one silo, sociology is working in another silo, let us say environmental indicators are in another silo. So data is being developed to answer only one particular question or a problem, but we are unable to take it in a multidisciplinary fashion. So it becomes very difficult to understand the whole picture if we work in a silo. Whereas if you put the same picture in this way, we are getting, now it shows a lady playing a football. So what is happening is we are getting a holistic picture. It is also filling in the data gaps and information gaps, and it is giving us interconnections between economy, environment, and society. So what we saw in a silo approach, which was probably a problem in environmental accounting, when we put it in a silo, it becomes a solution. So from one problem, we are moving to a solution when we are talking about SEEA. So SEEA is basically a problem to the solution because it is not looking at economy in one fashion, as one set of data or information, social data is another set of data, environmental data is another set of data. We are combining all the three together to get a whole picture. So this is an SEEA conceptual framework wherein, as we have just seen earlier, we have the whole, this particular green hexagon represents environment. Within this hexagon, we have a quadrilateral, a light green, which is economy. So within the economy, you have economic activities, we have economic units, you have various instruments. Environment is providing natural inputs and also ecosystem services. So both ecosystem services, let us say forests, coral reefs, rivers, they're all ecosystem services, and natural inputs are there. Both of them are being utilized by the economy, by these economic units to produce certain activities. Then this economy is giving back the residuals or emissions back into the environment. So this hexagon is within a boundary, but of course, if we go beyond the boundary, beyond the territory of reference, that is the rest of the world, you have imports and exports also. This is from the point of view of the economy, and if you see here, we have a transboundary environmental flows, which explains that what we do in one country or the environment activities do not get limited only to that country. The impact of that may be seen by other nations as well. Now, coming to the SEA framework, it consists of three types. One is called as SEA Central Framework. Then we have SEA Ecosystem Accounting, and then SEA Application and Extension. I will be giving you a brief overview of Central Framework and Ecosystem Accounting. SEA Framework, CF, is Central Framework, and EA means Ecosystem Accounting. What does Central Framework do? It measures environmental assets and individual resources and how the economy uses them. That is, when we are talking about Central Framework of SEA, we will be measuring that what environmental assets are there and what are the individual resources which are there and how the economy is using them. For example, timber, water, fish, soil, minerals, these are all the natural resources. So in the SEA framework, we will take the stock of these resources and we also see the flow of these resources. When we talk about SEA, that is Ecosystem Accounting, ecosystem is, we are measuring ecosystem and the services they provide to economic and human activity. So both of them are measuring on one hand that how natural inputs are being used for the economic activity. On the other hand, we will be seeing ecosystem, how it is being used or what they are providing for economic and human activity. SEA framework was adopted internationally in 2012. As we have just seen, it integrates the information on various stocks and flows of the economy and the environment in series of tables and accounts. That is, not only it considers that what has happened to the stocks and flows of man-made goods and services, it also talks about what has happened to the stocks and flow of environmental or naturally made or non-man-made goods or goods and services. And all this is then represented in series of tables and accounts. It concentrates on measuring three areas. The Central Framework is concentrating in measurement of three areas. One, it measures the flow of natural inputs and products and its residues between environment and economy. That is called as environmental flow. That is, whatever interactions are being taken, whatever economy is taking for the purpose of production from the environment, and what residues it is giving back in the environment, it is taken in environmental flows. And the point to be remembered is that both physical and monetary values are taken. That is, in physical terms, what has happened to the products and residues, and in monetary terms, what has happened to the products and residues. The second thing which environmental SEA Central Framework takes into account is the stocks of environmental assets. That is, stocks of individual assets. That is, water or energy assets, how they are used over an accounting period due to economic activity, both in physical and monetary terms. So we have taken the flow and we are taking the stock change also. And then how much economic activity is related to the environment. So three things are being seen. One, what is the interaction of environment and economy by flow of goods and services of the environment and economy? Then what has happened to the stock of environmental assets in an accounting period? And then monetary flow associated with economic activities which are related to environment. So various types of tables are made under CF, which are flow account, stock account, activity purpose account, and combined physical monetary accounts. What does flow account show? Flow account, as the name indicates, it is showing the supply and use tables for products, natural inputs, and residuals. That is, when the economic activity took place, how much was supplied by the environment and how much was used by, and how much was then sent back to the environment by the economic activity. For example, how much square meter of water was used and how much was sent back as residual. Then stock on account takes into account the natural resources and land, that is what has happened to the total land and natural resources after the use by the economic activity. The third thing it takes into account is activity of purpose accounts, which identify environmental transactions which already existed in SNA. For example, environmental protection expenditure. For example, if a company is spending money on pollution control, the company is going to add back into its expenditure. So already it is taking into account in SNA, so that is activity. And then combined physical and monetary accounts, which bring together the information for derivation of indicators of both environment and economy. In the SEA Central Framework, the focus is on individual components that provide material and space to all economic activities. However, it does not consider non-material benefits or the indirect use. For example, you are not using indirectly the coral reefs, but there is certain cultural value attached or cultural benefit attached to that coral reef. In the central framework, that was not taken into account. This aspect of the ecosystem is taken into account in your ecosystem accounting. Compared to the central framework, which was adopted in 2012, the ecosystem accounting was adopted in 2021, very recently, 3 years back, we can say. What is it? It is basically an integrated and comprehensive statistical framework for organizing data about habitats and landscapes, measuring ecosystem services, tracking the change of ecosystem assets, and then linking all these to the human activity. This is one model which I am showing it to you, which shows that how ecosystem is also very important to be taken into account for. An ecosystem, for example, as you said, coral reefs, forest, rivers, they are providing indirect benefits to the people. So this is the ecosystem asset is there. For example, a coral reef is an ecosystem asset. This, in the ecosystem process, these ecosystem services are used, human inputs are used in it, and then we are producing some economic activity which is giving individual and social welfare. So unlike your central framework, which was taking into account the natural inputs being used for the production of economic activity, in the ecosystem accounting model, we are taking into account the ecosystem assets. It is basically based on 5 types of account: the extent account, condition account, flow of ecosystem provide service account, monetary ecosystem asset account, and thematic account. We will quickly have a look at all these accounts. A comprehensive literature of this is available in the United Nations website. You can have a look at it if you want to learn more about it. Let me just give you a quick look on this. Extent account is basically a record of the total area of each ecosystem. Okay, whatever ecosystems are classified, the record of that total area come under the ecosystem. The extent of that, how large is that, is in the ecosystem account. For example, it can be for nations, it can be for province, it can be for a protected area. They basically are talking about that how from one accounting period to another accounting period, the extent of the ecosystem has changed. The second type of account in ecosystem is the condition account, which is talking about the selected characteristics, as the name indicates. It is saying what is the condition of that ecosystem. So over time, this condition may improve or it may deteriorate, but it provides us a very valuable information on the health of the ecosystem. The third type of account which we have in ecosystem is the flow of ecosystem services. That is, how ecosystem services, what type of services are they providing, how are they being used, and this is being measured both in physical and monetary terms. And then monetary ecosystem asset account is there. It describes information on stocks and changes in the stocks, which may be addition or reduction, and records all this information in a monetary terms. So basically, ecosystem accounting is helping us to understand whether ecosystem is degrading or it is enhancing. The last account in the ecosystem is the thematic account, which organizes the data on themes or specific policy relevance. For example, it may be on biodiversity, it may be on climate change, or it may be on the urban areas. So, this is quite a big lecture. So, let us quickly revise as to what we have done now in this lecture. We have talked about that how conventional system of national account did not take into account the depletion of natural resources and its estimation in GDP or GNP. Green accounting and environmental accounting hence aims to plug this gap and quantify the contribution the environment is making, whether it is marketable or non-marketable in the estimation of GDP. And SEA is basically an satellite account of SNA. And then SEA is divided in two types. One is central framework, other is the ecosystem accounting, where we try to integrate the environmental aspect with the economic aspect to get a correct measure of GDP, which is called as green GDP. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you very much.